What's the dumbest life-threatening accident you've ever seen? Working as a lifeguard. I've seen the worst of accidents, but this kid was by far the stupidest. This one kid, Xander, showed up every single day, acting like he was training for the Olympics. He was maybe 14 with bleached tips and always wore these neon green swim trunks that not even a Charlie XCX fan would wear. The kid treated this dirty community pool like his personal stage, and everyone else was tuning into his stream. Xander had this thing where he'd loudly announce every trick before doing it. He'd stand at the edge of the pool and yell stuff like, "Watch me do a perfect swan dive," or "Check out this newly invented aura-infused cannonball." Hearing that nearly made my ears bleed. The problem was he sucked at everything. His dives looked like belly flops and his aura balls barely made a splash. But that never stopped him from acting like he'd just won a gold medal after each attempt. The worst part was how he'd always try to one-up the younger kids. Some 8-year-old would do a regular jump, and Xander would immediately have to do a way better version. He'd critique their form like he was getting paid. "That's not how Michael Phelps would enter the water," he'd say, while demonstrating the wrong way himself. Parents started complaining, but Xander's mom just sat there reading magazines. One day, this girl named Chloe was practicing her backstroke and actually doing pretty well. Xander couldn't handle someone else getting attention, so he started swimming right next to her doing his version of butterfly stroke. It looked more like he was fighting off invisible bees. Water went everywhere, and Chloe had to stop because he kept splashing her in the face. I blew my whistle, but Xander pretended not to hear. Things escalated when Xander decided he was ready for the diving board. Not the low one that everyone used, but the high dive that even adults were nervous about. He walked past the line of kids waiting their turn and climbed up like he owned the place. At the top, he did this whole routine of stretching and flexing, while everyone below just wanted him to hurry up. His first attempt was supposed to be a professional grade front flip. He jumped high enough but forgot the flipping part and just fell straight down like a pencil. The sound when he hit the water was brutal. He came up gasping and claimed the sun got in his eyes. The second attempt, he actually managed half a rotation before landing on his back. Even from my lifeguard chair, I could see the red mark forming. It looked like a giant die. By the third week of summer, Xander had become my biggest headache. He'd started bringing props to the pool like those diving sticks and foam noodles. He'd set up obstacle courses that nobody asked for, and time himself swimming laps while shouting out split times that were definitely made up. Other kids stopped swimming when he was in the pool because he took up so much space with his training. The incident happened on the hottest day in July. The pool was packed and Xander was in rare form. He'd been bragging all morning about a new trick he'd been practicing at home, something about a reverse spinning backflip that he'd seen on YouTube. I told him the pool rules didn't allow anything that dangerous, but he said I was just jealous of his skills. Xander waited until I was dealing with some kids running on the deck to make his move. He climbed onto the diving board and got everyone's attention by clapping his hands above his head. "Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to witness greatness," he announced to the confused crowd. His mom finally looked up from her magazine just as Xander started his approach. The run-up was already wrong. He was going way too fast and his arms were flailing like windmills. When he reached the end of the board, he jumped straight up instead of out. The attempted backflip turned into more of a backward fall. His rotation was all messed up, and instead of entering the water feet or hands first, he was heading down at a weird angle. I was already moving before the impact. Years of training kicked in as I dropped my whistle and dove from my chair. Xander's head hit the edge of the diving board with a sound that made everyone gasp. Red Kool-Aid immediately started spreading in the water as his body went limp. Parents were screaming and pulling their kids out while I swam faster than I ever had before. Reaching Xander took maybe 10 seconds but felt like forever. His eyes were rolled back and there was a nasty gash on his forehead. I got him in the rescue hold and started swimming to the edge while trying to keep his head stable. Other lifeguards cleared the pool and someone called 911. Xander's mom was hysterical and kept saying this was all my fault for not watching him. The paramedics arrived quickly and took over. Xander needed 15 stitches and had a mild concussion, but he was lucky it wasn't worse. When he came back to the pool 2 weeks later with a bandage on his head, he was different, quiet, and actually following rules. He found me during my break and mumbled, "Thanks for saving me." His mom made him shake my hand. Now he sits in the corner of the pool popping his fart bubbles.